my strongest first impressions were of not speaking any English. And since I was the oldest, we were then four. My youngest brother was born later in the United States. But I had two sisters. We were all in school. I was in third grade. Each of them was in second and first. And I had to be. I was the oldest, so I was el hombrecito. So I had to act not afraid. I had to act like I knew what I was doing. And I remember being absolutely at sea, being absolutely lost. High school. I went to high school in New Jersey. I then went to college at Wesleyan in Connecticut. I was in the Peace Corps in the Amazon territory in Venezuela for 2 years after college, and then I was program director for the Peace Corps in Colombia, living in Bogota. So I had 2 years in Venezuela in the Amazon, having grown up in suburban New Jersey, and then I had 2.5 years. And by that point, my wife, who is Argentine, Susana, and I had married and were living in Bogota, and I was in charge of programming and training for a program of 1,000 Peace Corps volunteers. And it was after that I went to law school at the University of Pennsylvania. And coming out of that, I went to Hartford to work in the Legal Aid Society in a project that was called the Puerto Rican Center for Justice in Hartford, Connecticut. I remember that the sisters in the grammar school put me next to an Italian boy who was also brand new, who also didn't speak English, and she figured somehow that we would be able to communicate, even though he spoke Italian and I spoke Spanish. But it turned out it was not a bad life lesson. There were greater similarities, and we were able to understand each other. I remember people asking me if people wore clothes in Puerto Rico. I remember it being clearly something that set us apart. I cannot say, because I didn't experience it, that there was the kind of overt discrimination that I know happened with many other people from Puerto Rico, for a variety of reasons. Some of them racial, some of them language, some of them simply, as most bigotry is, based simply on ignorance. This is a particularly interesting time for me because I'm about to make a third major transition in career. First, I was a lawyer. Then I was a newspaper publisher, and now I'm about to change. I'm going to become president of the Knight Foundation, which is one of the largest foundations in the United States, funding community. It is a perfect combination for what I've done in my life, funding community advancement programs, building community, as well as funding journalism programs.